The house was old but solid, brick walls, peeling paint, creaking floorboards. It seemed like it would last for decades. The residents had grown accustomed to its peculiarities: creaky stairs, blank pipes, constant cracking in the walls. But there was one sound that no one could explain: footsteps. Every night, at exactly 2:37, a rhythmic, measured tapping of heels could be heard along the corridor. They started from the far end of the building and moved along all the apartments, slowly but continuously. The residents tried to figure out who they belonged to, but no matter how many times they looked out into the corridor, there was never anyone there. People said that one of the neighbors was walking around at night. But who? The old man from the top floor walked with a cane. The young couple from the fifth worked until late in the evening and came home only in the morning. The girl from the apartment across the street? No, she left long ago to visit relatives. Then who? Every night, at 2:37, the footsteps would sound again. And then one of the tenants decided to wait by the door. Michael was a skeptic. The neighbors could talk about the strange sounds as much as they wanted, but he was sure that there was a rational explanation for everything. Maybe it was the neighbor from the upper floor walking around at night. Maybe one of the tenants was deliberately playing a joke. But when the footsteps started to sound right at his door, he decided it was time to find out the truth. That night he did not go to bed. Michael sat down in a chair opposite the door, turned on his phone and started recording. The clock showed 2:36. Silence. 2. Footsteps. Clear, measured, as if someone was slowly walking along a long corridor. Michael took a deep breath, stood up slowly, and abruptly opened the door. There was no one in the hallway, but the footsteps didn't stop. They continued. Michael felt a chill creep into his body. He slowly looked down and saw them. 2 pale, bare feet. They moved on their own, without a body. Their toes wiggled. Their heels touched the floor softly. They walked without stopping, moving further down the hallway as if an invisible body continued on its way. Michael couldn't breathe. He staggered back. The door slammed shut in front of him. The footsteps continued, and now they slowed down, as if they had noticed him. Michael stood at the door, clutching the handle, his heart pounding. The footsteps no longer moved away. They stopped, right in front of his door. A coldness spread inside, too deep, too real. He couldn't see them, but he felt them. They were waiting. And then the door slowly began to open on its own. Michael didn't move, didn't breathe, trying to resist the fear that paralyzed him. The threshold was still empty, but now he knew that the emptiness only seemed empty. Something was waiting for him there. And then he felt a touch, as if something invisible gently touched his feet, as if testing whether he fit. And the next moment he was pulled forward. The floor gave way from under his feet. Michael didn't have time to scream. The next morning, the tenants of the house no longer found Michael in his apartment. All his things were in place, the door was locked from the inside, but he was gone. No one understood what had happened. But the next night, at exactly 2:37, the hallway was filled with footsteps again. Only now they sounded a little different, a little heavier, as if someone was getting used to their new body.